Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Songwriters Block. My name is John Roniger. We're here to talk about songs. I think I might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself. I know I've been talking about sort of stressing the idea of um, snapshots, filling in a story in front, filling in the story in back, but thinking in snapshots, taking that moment and then describing it, building out on that moment. Um, but I think it's also important to maybe take a step back a little bit and think about what kind of songs do you like? What about the songs that you like makes you like them? What about the songs that you don't like makes you dislike them? Why do you prefer maybe jazz or blues over hip hop? Why do you prefer hip hop over pop? Why do you prefer pop over country? Why do you love country? All these things sort of matter when you start to think about writing songs. And only because your history, the songs you love, the memories you've built up, the associations you have with the songs that you love from when you were a little child all the way through what you've been listening to today, all those things will filter into your songwriting. So it doesn't matter what style you like. It doesn't matter what style you want to write in, but those things will filter into your writing whether you really want them to or not. It's just part of the subconscious, and that's what we're trying to reach into eventually is reaching into your subconscious view of the world. Um, so so think about that for a minute. Why do you love Taylor Swift? What about her and her songs make you want to listen to them over and over again? Now, if you hate Taylor Swift, that's totally cool. So let's pick somebody else. What about Pearl Jam? What about Pearl Jam? Makes you buy everything they've ever put out. Makes you go back and constantly listen to records that have been out for decades. Um, and Eddie Vedder is a great songwriter, and he has a great band behind him, and he writes super cool lyrics that are inside lyrics, things about his life, but people can totally relate to them, and that's what makes artists like that so fantastic and songs like that so great. Um, I spent a long time in Nashville, not a long time. I spent about 5 years in Nashville writing songs every day. 2 songwriting sessions a day, Monday through Friday. It is an unbelievable place to cut your teeth on the craft of songwriting. I wrote with some unbelievable writers and still do to this day. Um, and but when you're writing towards country music has a very specific outlook on the way songs should be crafted. And a lot of them are what I call the sitcom songs. They have to have a very specific point, begin with a way that draws you in quickly, have a hook that's totally memorable, and finish the story and complete the story all within 3 minutes. That's a real craft. Uh, Pop music, you can get away with a little bit more. You can be a little bit more ethereal. You can sort of write things that maybe don't make sense, but certainly rhyme and sound cool together. Pop music has been doing that forever. Pop music is a little bit more free. If you're going to get into like some hip hop writing or get into sort of rap music, if you've ever looked at the lyrics in like a rap song, it's like a novel. They are writing an unbelievable number of lyrics that are very urban, very modern, uh, and clearly they have to rhyme, and the meter is extremely important when you're thinking about that kind of style of writing. Almost like they're part of the rhythm section. So you get, which is such a cool way of writing that I cannot do and probably will never even attempt to do. So I just want to get back to that. I want everyone to think about, clearly you're going to have, but I'm trying to convey, of course, is that you need to be thinking about that snapshot way of writing. You take the picture and then you fill in the story. But what style are you writing in? What kind of, it doesn't matter really what genre you want to specifically write in. It doesn't really matter. But if you're going to be writing a hip hop song, uh, you're going to have to approach it a different way than if you're going to be writing a country song. Or if you're going to be writing a blues song, Whole different vibe. Again, think about the blues songs, that we've all known for basically our whole lives. Um, Very, very specific, short, uh, snapshot kind of writing, like, of course I'm drawing a blank now. It seems to draw a blank a lot when I'm doing these videos. That's mostly because my brain doesn't work. That could be the drugs and alcohol for decades of that. It could just be the fact that I'm old. Also, for those of you who have children, you know that when they hand you your child, they also lop off a part of your brain, which I'm convinced is sort of the universe's way of making you forget how miserable those first months are when you're not sleeping, but for more than about a half an hour a night, so that you'll have more children. But that's for another time. Um, anyway, I want to sort of get you thinking in that way. Maybe even take a step back and go back and think about that now as you're thinking about your snapshots. What is the style I'm writing in? What is the style I've grown up with? I grew up. My parents were kind of hippies, and I listened to Joan Baez, Jim Croce, Simon and Garfunkel. Or Paul Simon's a huge influence on the way I like to write. Um, uh, then we sort of got Pete Seeger. Then we sort of got into when I started to get a little bit past that and choose my own music. It was the time of like classic rock, Eric Clapton. I got way into like Jimi Hendrix, and then it was like AC/DC and Led Zeppelin, and I was a big Rush fan, which lyrically speaking were a little bit more on the ethereal plane. Um, but I don't write songs like Rush. I don't write songs like AC/DC. I more lean to writing lyrics-ish and songs-ish, more like a Paul Simon, more like those classic writers, the Jim Croce style of writing. That's just the way I've sort of found that that's what works for me. Because when it comes to eventually you're going to be writing a song, your snapshot, you're going to phrase things a certain way. Your lines are going to have a certain length. Your meter is going to flow a certain way. Your rhyme scheme is going to happen in a certain time. So just put that in your brain. What kind of songs do you like? Maybe think about your favorite 10 songs of your life and what do they have in common? What are their kind of common, not lyrical themes, but if you listen to them back to back, your favorite 10 songs, you'll be like, oh, they all seem to have this chorus that is really singy that I really like. They have lines that repeat that I can memorize. So it becomes important eventually as you start to actually write songs. So there it is. Think about what style you like. Think about what style you maybe don't even think about what you want to write. Just think about what you like. And that will, I promise, filter into the way you approach the craft of songwriting. And there it is. This is the Songwriters Block. My name is John Roniger, and we'll see you on the next one.